Welcome tonight to Ray Story Field here at North Hardin High School for another great Friday night under the lights with Hardin County football. We've got the 2-1 North Hardin Trojans hosting tonight the 2-1 Pleasure Ridge Park Panthers. PRP comes in off of a big win over Louisville Eastern, and they are looking to extend their winning streak, and they're very excited, I'm sure, tonight to get a win. Both teams are getting ready to go into the meat of their schedule. I know North Hardin in the next 3 weeks will be playing both DeSales and Boyle County, two traditional Kentucky powers, and it doesn't get easier for PRP as they're going to be facing St. X, Male, and Butler over the next 3 weeks. Both teams need a win tonight. You ought to see some desperation on both sides. And looks like the crowd's pretty fired up tonight. We've just had the national anthem, the North Hardin Band, knocking it out of the park again tonight, doing a fantastic job. And tonight here, Paul Gray to call the action with my partner Jeff Knoll. Jeff, what do you think about the matchup tonight?
Looks like a really good one, Paul. Two teams that, at least on paper, coming from a pretty equal stat, situation and circumstance. Both 6A, both 2-1, both looking for a win tonight. Similar offenses. But on paper, what you really see with PRP is a running team. And with North Hardin, we've obviously seen some incredibly passing. Both of them, have studs in their, running backs here, and so we're definitely going to see that. My personal opinion is that the difference tonight is going to be what happens in the air. That maybe it's going to be a matchup. You never know how that's going to roll out. Obviously, you and I both know it happens on the line. Whoever wins that battle on the line, that's what's going to really take it. But the difference could be tonight the Moore brothers. That could be the big difference that takes North Hardin to a victory tonight. But I think it's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it, man.
Well, as Jeff mentioned, a couple things to look for. Obviously, the battle up front, and North Hardin is probably better up front than they've been in decades. They're really strong on the defensive and offensive lines.
Absolutely.
It's one of the best looking football teams they've had. North Hardin's always had great football players, but they really look good up front, and we'll see if that holds up against a 6A power tonight. It's an even matchup. North Hardin comes in ranked 11th. PRP comes in ranked 12th. So we've got two teams knocking on the door of the top 10 in 6A football. And but again, two what should be fairly evenly matched sides. Jeff also mentioned the fact we have spread teams, but they're both trying to feature great running backs.
Yeah.
Number 3, Aaron Kinnebrew, comes in with 420 yards in 3 games, averaging 140 per game. That's number 3 for PRP. And number 7, Lavelle Wright for North Hardin. Lavelle's had some awesome games. He's got 283 yards, just under 100 yards a game, but 6 touchdowns to his name. And so they'll be featuring great backs, even in the spread. And so, again, that line of scrimmage becomes even more important.
It's interesting when you look at some of the stats on paper, and the thing that you don't take into consideration often is, who have they played, what kind of teams have they played, and obviously PRP, they're playing in that Louisville circuit up there and going against some, amazing teams up there. So it's always cool. I always love it when you see a Louisville team come down and play one of our Hardin County teams, and sometimes I think we surprise them. Sometimes I think the Hardin County boys show up in a way that the Louisville guys think they're going to come down here and maybe walk on them, and it doesn't work out that way for them.
Well, I think that'll be exciting tonight for us. We've had a couple of crosstown matchups the last couple of weeks with North and E-Town and then North and John Hardin. But this week, Jeff, I'm going to try to do my best to broadcast the game without looking like I'm cheering from one side or the other, but that's going to be a little tougher this week, isn't it?
It is, and I'm sure most of you out there know that Paul used to walk out onto this field as the quarterback, and his dad coached here for a lot of years in the freshman team. So you got history here, man. This is like a homecoming party for you.
It's always fun looking out on this field. This is awesome. So so interestingly enough, again, let me mention the coaches. We got Brent Thompson. Again, he's got a good football team this year. I'm sure he's excited. Talked to Coach Tommy Williams, who's the head coach of PRP. And Tommy's been there for 10 years, 2 years as the head coach. And actually had a chance to coach against him in the playoffs when I was coaching at Central. And Tommy's excited about his football team and just looking for them to improve week by week. And so and the Trojans are taking the field. So The band's playing.
Here we go.
And we're going to get ready for football. Before we get started tonight, before the kickoff, we'll again note our sponsors. We're going to start with Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. A new sponsor, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties. For all of your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable, unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. And so the kickoff is about to occur, and we're going to make a little admission here at the very beginning of the game. PRP's roster online and everything they have on the KHSA website doesn't have any numbers, so I've talked to their head coach, Tommy Williams, and we have some of the key players. We may not know all the names for the PRP Panthers. We may just be talking about the Panthers, and so a Panther catches the ball, and maybe we'll give you some numbers, but we're ready to kick off, and North Hardin ready to receive. It looks like Ramaj Adams back deep, number 6. Kick is coming to Elijah Banks on the left side, headed back to the middle of the field.
And he is hit.
Turned back at the 20-yard line.
It is a solid hit at the 20-yard line. So here we go. You know, I played in Pittsburgh, and my high school was North Hills High School. So the big NH in the middle brings back some memories to me tonight, too, buddy.
All right. So we're both feeling good about a little homecoming tonight.
Absolutely.
Again, the Trojans will take over their fantastic senior quarterback, Eric Moore, number 18, will be taking the snap with Lavelle Wright, number 7. In the backfield with him, and Eric Moore is ready to take the snap. 1st and 10, middle of the field from the 21-yard line. Moore, quick pass out to the side. Looks like number 30, Jordan Lovett, on the reception. He'll pick up about 2 yards on the screen. It'll be 2nd and 8. Jeff, again, the staple of the spread offense, the quick screen. Absolutely.
They closed on it pretty fast.
They did. Handoff up inside to Lavelle Wright. He's breaking tackles over the right side. He's outside already.
He's outside.
Deep. He's going down the sideline. 22 in pursuit. He's got the, big stiff arm.
Him, and he's down.
Fantastic, powerful run, Jeff.
Absolutely. He broke that quick. That was the difference we were wondering if we'd see tonight. He absolutely had clear space once he got past the first line into that secondary. It was over then at that point in time.
About a 65-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line on the right hash. The Trojans will take over there. Eric Moore at quarterback, number 18, waiting the snap. And again, the wide handoff to Lavelle Wright, and he is stuffed that time.
I read that one, came in on the right side. There was 0 contain on that right side.
Loss of 2. Number 52 for the on the tackle for the Panthers. Yeah, came right upfield and sniffed that out. It looked like an outside zone play, and there was nothing there. 2nd and 12 for the Trojans from their own 14-yard line. Moore with the snap, looking to his left. Ramaj Adams on the quick hitch. Catch. For about, they got back the line of scrimmage in a couple more yards. 3rd and 9. It's going to be about 3rd and 9, maybe 3rd and 10, Jeff?
Looks like about that. I'm really thinking he's going for the end zone shot on this one. I would guess we might see a brother hookup.
Yeah, Josh Moore, the leading receiver.
His younger brother, Josh.
With 4 touchdowns in 3 games and 261 yards. Eric loves to feed the football to his little brother, Josh. Looking to the screen to the right side to number 8.
Nothing
Marcus
on that
Harris.
When PRP sniffed that one out, and there was nothing happening on that one. A loss of about 5 yards.
Loss of 5. 4th and 15. Jeff, it doesn't look like they're sending the kicking team onto the field yet.
It does not.
At 4th and 15.
Got some faith in their quarterback.
From their 21-yard line, or 4th and 16 maybe. From their 17-yard line, that is. They're going to go for it.
4 wide receivers from the right hash. Moore back to throw. Pump fake. Looking up the left side. Ramaj Adams deep. Thrown out of the back of the end zone.
Number 30 fell down, but regardless, that pass was probably uncatchable within the end zone, so we weren't looking at any kind of a score on that one after it was released from his hand. But you got to give him some credit for going for it that quick. They wanted to strike hard and strike fast, and sad to see after that kind of a long run that you aren't able to convert anything on that, but he sure did break out on that one. What a beautiful run.
Exciting run. He stiff-armed a guy to the ground, and Lavelle Wright made a big play, but they couldn't capitalize, so the North Hardin defense will come on the field. PRP with trips to the right side. And the give is up inside number 3, Aaron Kennebrew. Nothing doing.
Who is their workhorse, put up over 200 yards last week. Had a great week last week, so scored 2 touchdowns. So I believe we're going to see a heavy dose of him tonight.
3-yard gain. It was number 38, Michael Lunds, on the tackle. And so we've got 2nd and 7 now from the middle of the field for the Panthers.
We've got some big men on that front line for PRP.
Quarterback number 6, Maurice Soja, is under center this time. He'll have Kennebrew behind and back to throw. 5-step drop, looking to his left.
Nobody in the area.
Definitely it looked like his receiver fell down, doesn't it, Jeff?
It either did or he had the wrong route on that, but he wasn't anywhere. There was nobody for five yards anywhere around that.
It looked like the pass was intended for number 22, Zach Kelly.
Fortunately for PRP, there was no Trojans around either.
It was overthrown, and that's dangerous. You're right, Jeff. 3rd and 7 now from their own 19-yard line. The Panthers are looking for a big early pickup. Trips to the right. It's an empty backfield. Maurice Soja in the backfield to take the snap. Looking to his left. Seam pass down the middle.
Oh, just out of his hands.
Number 13, Tremel Lee, had an opportunity to catch the ball, maybe score, heading down the seam. And, last week, Jeff, with E-Town in town, we saw several times where some seam routes worked both E-Town and North Hardin.
So they've been watching some tape over the week and seen that work. Yeah, that would have been a foot race from about their own 40-yard line at that point in time to see who would have made it. But he had nothing but green in front of him from that point on.
So the Trojans ready to receive the punt on about their own 47-yard line. Looks like Elijah Banks back deep. He's going to let it roll and step away from it. And they'll have the ball 1st and 10 from about the 43-yard line on their own side of the field. Good punt by the PRP Panthers.
Had some unfinished business on that last drive. I feel like they wanted to get back out there as quick as possible. So good hold for North Hardin there, forcing them to punt it on that reception. But once again, coming into it, it didn't look like PRP's strength was their passing game. So anytime they get in a 3rd and long tonight, that's going to be tough for them unless they can begin to open up. They do have a major running back. We'll see what happens.
Elijah Banks now in the backfield and straight down the middle again. A big run, 13 yards for Elijah Banks.
1st down.
Number 21, Elijah Banks, is their 2nd option. He has had 34 carries for 171 yards, so as tough as Lavelle Wright is, Banks is tough as well.
Pretty good 2nd option.
Excellent.
Elijah Banks is quite a runner.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1st and 10 on the other team, on the Panther 43-yard line. Again, give inside to Banks. He's broken another tackle.
Out to the
now
side.
Off the left side. Big stiff arm. Run out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Boy, there's some it's hard to really see from this angle, but that middle has to be opening up big time. He has got room enough to drive a car through that, and once he gets through, boom, he's gone. He's got some break speed out once he gets past that line.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans from the Panther 27-yard line. And there's a whistle on the field. Play is being delayed for just a moment. The Trojans look like they're in a trips formation to the right. Looks like an equipment problem for number 4 from the Panthers. And they've substituted now 31 at cornerback. They're in a 2-deep defensive look and a zone look.
Yeah, they're only going with 3 down linemen. Big
fake
pass,
the screen deep down the sideline. Jordan Lovett just out of bounds. It's overthrown.
Pass was past him. Again, out of bounds, uncatchable in that situation. But, man, he was all alone. There was no one with him. Defender fell down at about the 5-yard line, so he had all the room he needed.
So that was Jordan Lovett. They faked the screen to the right, and Jordan Lovett down here on the left was able to get deep. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now, again from the 27-yard line. 2 deep safeties, trips to the right, and Banks running to the right. Stacked up, he breaks 3 tackles. Ball's on the ground. The Panthers have – they're ruling it
dead.
down.
Wow. That's a big break for the Trojans right there, my friend.
It looked like the ball may have popped out, but
really
we don't have replay to check that out. But right now,
we'll never know.
We'll never know. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and 10. The 2 times they've tried to run wide, Jeff, the Panthers had nothing.
Nothing going on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've been able to break it up the middle, but again, PRP's running with 3 down linemen, so they've learned at this point how to break that open.
3rd and 10, draw play, Lavelle Wright, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He's
Nothing
driving forward,
right
but 2 yards at most.
They really are doing some good job up there in the middle, but not on that time. That time they closed it up quickly and brought him down.
So here we are, 4th down again, and they're deep in the Panther territory. So
and there's no
this
kicker
time
on the field.
it appears this time they're well out of field goal range. Last time a little closer, but we're going 4th and 10 here from the 27-yard line of the Panthers. 2 deep coverage, 4 wide receivers. Eric Moore ready to receive the snap. He takes a look to his right. He's under a lot of pressure. Dumps it off to Lavelle Wright. He's in the open field. He's got an opportunity to pick it up. Looks like he's got a first down.
First down. Absolutely. That was beautiful. Hung on. A little Ben Roethlisberger work going on back there. He hung on, kept that play going. There were several people. We do have an injured PRP player. That was a beautiful play. He picked that up. But, man, once he got that ball, the yards after the catch were all on him. He could have been down at least 10 yards before that, but just kept those legs moving. Good-looking first down right there.
Great job by the quarterback, Eric Moore, Jeff, just keeping his feet alive, like you said,
Absolutely.
like Ben Roethlisberger in the pocket, just hanging in there.
Hanging on.
Nothing down the field, but he dumps it to his running back. I think that was all improvised.
Yeah, absolutely. That was not a drawn-up play right there. As a former quarterback, you know how that play happens.
I've seen that happen before. You're running for your life, and your running back, who's not supposed to be running around, he just leaks out and turns around and looks at you.
Yeah.
You make eye contact, and you dump him the ball. Right before we get play going, it looks like number 7 is up and off the field. We'll just remind you again that HCEC-TV is a student production, a division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax, Bluegrass Cellular, and E-Town Exterminating, as well as West Point Bank. So here we are, 1st and 10 from the Panther 15-yard line. Eric Moore back to receive the snap. 4 wide receivers. Snap. Looking to his left, pump fake. Under pressure again, and this time.
Not this time. He's not going to make it. Thought maybe he was going to break through there and run it, but he tucked that ball and continued to look, and all went down at that point in time.
So there's several pass plays in a row where the pressure has started to
starting to mount.
We're talking about the battle up front. I don't know if North Hardin's winning that right now. We'll see if they can protect the quarterback here. 2nd and 15. Looking for the slant to Josh Moore. Touchdown, Trojans.
Eric Moore to Josh Moore. Good-looking touchdown right there, folks. And once again, as you called it earlier, that seam route right across the middle, he was all alone. He was absolutely all alone. Got to give it to Eric, man. Every week I see him play, really impressed with a lot of his football IQ there. Just hung in there, let it develop, watched for Josh coming across the middle, and boom. Beautiful pass. Nice catch.
Well, one way to negate the rush that they were getting is to get it out quick, and that's a quick slant or a quick seam route, a skinny post or slant, whatever you want to call it, off the outside. And Josh Moore wide open there in the seam. We've got Darren Green on for the point after, number 44. Eric Moore to hold. Snap, hold, kick.
And it is good. So when those seam routes work, they look like a thing of beauty, and it makes you realize, why don't they run that all the time? But, man, when it's red and you got a back coming across and they blow you up on that, you could pay a heavy price running those cross routes across there. Takes a lot of guts to hang in there and make that catch and keep it running. That time worked perfect. Not a defender for about 5 yards around him, and he was clean. Broke one tackle, and he was in. Good-looking play.
So a 5:49 to go in the first quarter. North Hardin Trojans 7, PRP Panthers nothing. This is, again, an HCEC-TV student production. And we're thankful for E-Town Exterminating and West Point Bank for their support. Tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. So Darren Green will go out for the North Hardin Trojans to kick the ball. And the Panthers will take the field here to try to make something happen and get back.
Looks like we have number 13 and number 9 back deep to receive.
13 is Tremel Lee, Jeff. That's
Tremel
the
Lee.
young man who had an opportunity to catch the ball in their last opportunity. I'm sure he's looking for some redemption.
And number 9 back for the Panthers as well. And we have a squib kick. Not sure if that was on purpose or accident.
Close call. The Trojans were almost able to get on it. That was number 9 for the Panthers. Is one of their leading touchdown makers, Kashawn Beasley. So they're avoiding.
They're avoiding that. Yeah.
Kashawn Beasley back deep, as well as Tremel Lee, and going to squib kick it.
Probably smart football, picking it up on the 30-yard line right now. So it's great because when you get them at that point, at least you're forcing them at this point to either make their running game work or depend upon their weaker passing game. So see how it rolls here.
So Maurice Soja, number 6 in the shotgun for PRP, 4 wide receivers. First and 10 from the 30.
We have offsides. That looks like offensive offsides to me. No, they called on the defense.
Number 43, I think it was Vesey Lilo, got a little bit anxious there. And I think Maurice Soja, the quarterback for the Panthers, may have given him a hard count. So it'll be first down and 5 yards to go from the right hash on their own 35-yard line.
For a moment there, it looked like the center moved, but it obviously wasn't. So bad break for the Trojans.
Or he got away with it, Jeff. One of the two.
Yeah. That happens.
Inside run. The quarterback pulls it.
Hang on. Around the side. First down.
Number 6, Maurice Soja, for about a 7-yard gain. He pulls it after faking to Aaron Kennebrew.
Late flag on the play.
Well, what happened, Jeff, is there was a slide by the quarterback, and the North Hardin defender hit him anyway. So it's going to be a personal foul and tack 15 more yards.
Bad decision early on in the game. These are the things that just make coaches crazy. That was a smart play by Soja on that play. Tucked that, ran it. He had a lot of room.
So, again, yeah, they fake to their big back. Aaron Kennebrew, everybody's ready for Kennebrew to stuff that. And he pulls it, and big pickup and a big penalty. It'll be first and 10 from the North Hardin 42-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left. Soja ready for the snap. We've got jet sweep to the left, number 30 with the football. And, boy, they had that sniff out. He cuts back.
And turns it, cuts it up straight, gets about 5 yards. That was 5 of the hardest yards he ever made.
I think on the tackle was 46, Isaiah Beasley, along with 23 and Patry.
And half the defense.
The whole defense running the football. Big pickup of 5 yards. It'll be second and 5 from the North Hardin 38-yard line.
Love to see it at this level when they all, fire out at the ball, come after the ball, gang tackling like that.
Trips formation to the right. Soja takes the snap. Looking left. The quick hitch to number 14. Complete for a first down.
It's a good-looking play. Swing out to the left. Wasn't able to get many yards after the catch, but definitely a beautiful play. He threw that right over some coverage, so he tucked that ball in there well.
It was a good catch by Anthony Delgado, number 14 for the PRP Panthers, and Delgado's their second leading receiver, so he's trying to get the football to his top receivers, and they'll be under center now. Maurice Soja under center. I formation, a tight end left, 2 wide receivers. Turn and give to the big tailback, Aaron Kennebrew, and it looks like just a couple yards.
Soja goes down behind center. He gets down there almost on that one knee position. I haven't seen a quarterback do that for quite a while, but often think they do that to get a better view, to be able to see the defense a little bit better instead of just bending over.
Jeff, there's another reason. It may be a smaller
you got a little center right in there. But,
with short legs.
Right, and he's a tall guy.
His hind end is down by the ground when you're trying to take the snap. 3 wide to the right, empty backfield. Soja back to pass, looking to his right in the flat. Intended for number 9, Kashawn Beasley, but not there.
He did have his defender beat by about a step, but the ball was just over his head.
Number 9, Kashawn Beasley, is the leading receiver with 117 yards gained receiving. It's a lot of touchdowns. It tells us he's scored 6 touchdowns on other than receiving and rushing.
Yeah.
Jeff, I can only imagine special teams and defense.
That's what, when I was looking at the stats, I figured there had to be, especially last week, it just said other. So, and there was, there were no receiving touchdowns for PRP last week.
Sounds like a dangerous guy. We might want to keep our eyes on him. 4 wide receivers to the left this time. Different looking formation. Soja given up the middle to Kennebrew.
Nothing going.
It was a big third down play, and we got a man down for the Panthers. I saw him come out of there holding his left knee. I think somebody kind of fell on him there.
Saw
so
that
dangerous.
too. Yeah, always just makes you cringe a little bit when you see that happen. He is not moving a whole lot right now. I definitely, if it's knee, he's in pain. He's rolling back over now.
Well, unfortunately, Jeff, you would understand that, wouldn't you?
Yes. Brings back the memories you don't want to remember.
That's right.
Never like to see that.
Well, we don't have the number of the young man down on the field for the Panthers.
I believe it's number 55.
Okay.
Caught that as he rolled over. Looks like it's his right leg. We once again want to just take an opportunity to mention those who are sponsors of this program, Physical Therapy and Associates. More personal attention for more effective results with locations in E-Town, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. And also, we want to welcome Ryan Harris of RE/MAX and Premier Properties for all of your real estate needs. Want to welcome them as being one of our sponsors. Contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he will get the job done. As always, Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable, unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit them at bluegrasscellular.com, and E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, or online at mugabug.com. Looks like we're about ready to get back in it.
55 was helped off the field, and we'll pick up here. It's a big down, 4th and about 7 yards on the North Hardin 28-yard line, 27-yard line. Big 4th down play. We've got 4 wide receivers to the right.
And we have an offside.
76 jumps for the Panthers.
A little bit, so that'll be a break for the Trojans right here. That makes a difficult task even more difficult right now.
So that'll bring up 4th and 12. I believe the Panthers are still going to go for it. They're deep in Trojan territory. A punt here may not gain you a whole lot at the Trojan 32.
Be kind of tight to tuck one in. You're only about 30 yards from the goal line.
And again, we're in an empty backfield. Maurice Soja at quarterback, 4 wide receivers to the right. One of those being number 9, Kashawn Beasley. Quick screen to Beasley, but it was thrown low.
And loses about another 3 yards on that one. So turned over to the Trojans on the 35-yard line.
The flag down, Jeff. It may be after the play. About to make the call.
Personal foul on PRP. So adds another 15 yards to the good for the Trojans.
So it is 7-0 Trojans, 3:03 to go in the first quarter. Interestingly enough, both teams have had deep drives that stalled out and couldn't pick up long 4th down. And not only that, now PRP has given North Hardin great field position with the personal foul, and Trojans will take over 1st and 10.
At this point in time, yeah.
On their own 46-yard line. Great turnaround for the Trojans.
1st and 10, Trojans at the
Trojans
46.
definitely winning the field position game at this point in time and able to capitalize once on that.
So we have a trips formation to the right. It looks like number 7, Lavelle Wright, is to the left of Eric Moore. Moore takes a snap. He's going to give to Wright straight up the middle. Wright running hard over folks for about 3 yards.
Lavelle Wright on the carry.
Lavelle Wright's had a good year so far.
Gain of 3.
Really racking up some yards.
7.
Raj Adams and Jordan Lovett flanked to the left. They get the call. 2nd and 7. Eric Moore ready for the snap. And
Whistle
it looks
blown
like a
early.
motion call, doesn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, against PRP, so another 5 yards.
All sides.
It's an awful good thing for a coach when you can gain 15, 20 yards without calling a play.
And 2 for the Trojans.
So that will bring up 2nd and 2. The Trojans now on the other side of the 50-yard line, on the 46-yard line of the Panthers. Josh Moore and Marcus Harris will be lined up to the right side at receiver. Number 57, Austin LaPierre, is one of the senior offensive
Another
tackles.
5 yards. Excuse me, 15 yards.
Personal foul, wow.
So
Jeff,
that
by
is
my math, that's 35 yards of penalties in the last 2
15
plays.
Yes.
First down, Trojans.
35 yards without snapping the ball. PRP coach cannot be happy about that.
Yeah, Coach Williams is probably pretty upset. Fake to Lavelle Wright.
Deep.
Pump and
He's
go.
got his man.
Jordan Lovett.
And
the
he's
ball
not
not
able.
free.
Good defense on that one. He had a turnover. It was over his back shoulder, but definitely catchable. It was in him.
2nd and 10.
Definitely in his breadbasket there for a moment, but just couldn't hang on.
Eric Moore pump faked on the hitch and go, and Jordan Lovett had a step, but wasn't able to come up with a reception. 2nd and 10 now for the Trojans, again from the 31-yard line of the Panthers. This is about where things have stalled out the last couple of times.
Get close to the red zone and things begin to shut down a lot. PRP defense.
Well, I'm
stiffens
noticing
up a little bit.
Jeff, that these guys are being really sticklers. The referees about equipment situations. Josh Moore has an equipment situation with his left knee pad, and they're making him come out of the game. So shift receivers around, 2nd and 10. Give inside Lavelle Wright. He cuts back to the right, up the middle for about 12 yards.
He gains first down on that.
On the carry.
I hope the refs don't take over the game, as we've kind of seen happen a few times in the past, but I'm going to let these boys play some ball.
Well, thankfully, if you're a Trojan fan, the big run by Lavelle Wright there has set you up 1st and 10.
Absolutely.
Right at about the 20-yard line of the Panthers. Give to Wright straight ahead again.
Nothing this time.
Wright on the carry.
Broke through immediately.
No gain on the play.
You're right, a lot of penetration, and the Panthers had a hold of him before he could get started. If he can get downhill, it's hard to stop him. So it'll be 2nd and 10 again. We've seen a lot of 2nd and longs.
Yeah.
4 wide receivers from the right hash. Eric Moore shouting signals, takes the snap. Sprinting out now to his left. The blitz has got him.
Wow, beautiful penetration.
Moore is sacked on the play.
Number 7 for the Panthers made a great play.
Definitely did some schemes coming through on that one. It worked.
Loss of 13.
Pulled the offensive line, and a lot of speed coming through on that one as well.
Definitely a blitz. Number 7 is the outside linebacker for the Panthers, and he came through untouched. Well, we're now 3rd and about 23 yards to go. Not a whole lot of plays for this, but we'll see what the Trojans have. Screen pass to the right to Josh Moore.
But
completed. He makes
still
2 tackles,
he's
miss. He's up.
Spins out, runs. And he's down at about the 10-yard line, but wow, beautiful. Way to hang in there, that spin move. Broke that tackle out around the right side.
Is it a first down? It is right up at the first down marker.
He is so close. I don't think they're going to give that to him, but we'll see. Maybe they will.
Coming back, Jeff. There's a holding call.
Man.
That's tough. 3rd and 23, you get 23 yards, and it's coming back.
Always so susceptible to that when you have a play that breaks down and you end up like that. But, man, once again, the credit to that has to go to that defensive line. They are putting the pressure on Moore, and he's spinning. He's going to his second options. And
3rd and 29 for the Trojans.
Well, that's one way to stop a rush, though, is throw screen passes.
Yeah.
And you don't block those guys, and you let them run through. And
beautiful.
3rd and 28 for the Trojans from their own 38-yard line. Looking down the field more, up in the pocket. There's a flag down
in the
already.
backfield.
Good completion.
I believe we may have another hold, however.
I believe
Yes.
that's number 3,
Yeah,
Cameron Smith, on the
absolutely.
catch.
But it's a hold, so it's coming back again.
They had picked up about 23 of those 28 yards they needed, but it's coming back.
Remember those 35 yards they got earlier in this drive? They're giving them back.
They gave it all back, didn't they? Well, you mentioned the officials every now and again taking over. I think they've thrown about 7 flags in the last 10 plays. That's not good for the flow of a football game, that's for sure.
I never like to talk about that, but when it happens, it just distracts from what you're here for. But it is, and again, just as I heard last night on the NFL game, holding happens on every play.
That's right. It's 3rd and 45. As I look at the play, I can't see the down markers out of my peripheral vision. He's looking deep.
got all
Eric Moore
kinds of
under
time.
pressure.
He
Moving
gets
to his
away.
right. He's
Has
got
his
it.
Man.
Caught for about 25 yards.
And he's still about
Still 20
20 yards
yards.
short.
Oh, man. Great throw, great catch. It'll give us a 4th and 20
Wow.
yards. The Trojans down to about the 30-yard line of the Panthers.
So it's 4th and doable.
26-yard gain.
Great play.
Possible.
Absolutely.
4th
Jeff,
and
they're
19.
down there with an opportunity now to make
Yeah.
another big play.
4th and 19 is a whole lot better than 4th and 45.
4 wide receivers. Moore setting the protection. Claps, the ball snapped. He's looking down the field again. Rolling out to his right. Number 7 is in
Still
pursuit
under pressure
again.
and
All over him.
and
Big
absolutely.
sack.
Moore is
Number
sacked
7
on the play
got
by
some
the
speed.
third
He
lead.
is absolutely tearing it up in the backfield. Just an amazing rush on that, and as many times before, athletic kid.
Well, they'll turn the ball over on downs, and the Panthers will have the ball. Maurice Soja will take over with Aaron
PRP
Kennebrew
takes over. First
on
and 10
their
at
own
the
43-yard line. We don't have number 7's name, but he's got 2 sacks. And Coach gave me some of their star defensive
not that
players,
one.
and he's not on the list. So
Well, he
Coach
needs
has
to
got to
do-
be pleasantly surprised. Coach Williams,
I believe he will be next week.
yeah, he may have more consideration for number 7 outside linebacker. Quick pitch to Aaron Kennebrew out to the right.
Up the middle.
That's a hard run, Jeff.
Yeah, about 5 yards, right up the middle, squared his shoulders,
Kennebrew on
turned
the
it up,
carry.
and bullied his way up for about 5 yards with about 4 or 5 Trojans on his back.
Gain of 4.
Again, the Trojans'
Tackle by
third
Darren
leading
Green.
tackler, Michael Lunds, helps on the tackle.
And what amazing difference that defensive play made for
At the end
PRP,
of your
getting that
first
big
quarter,
sack in the back. I mean, if they would have
Trojans
just
7,
not made it, they would have been
PRP
on about their
0.
own 20-yard line, and now you get that major sack, and that was huge, absolutely huge.
So when we come back, the first quarter's now ended. And North Hardin Trojans 7, PRP Panthers 0. PRP Panthers will have 2nd down and 6 from their own 46-yard line.
I want to again thank our sponsors. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. E-Town Exterminating, Bluegrass Cellular, Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Physical Therapy and Associates. Once again, thankful for all of our sponsors, and Brandenburg Telecom for providing service for all of your communication needs.
Well, Jeff, one of our great fans here at North Hardin High School yelling into me in the booth here. That was a long quarter.
I think you
throw that many
recognize him.
flags,
I'm pretty sure I recognize him as another Mr. Gray, correct?
That's right. One of the other North Hardin faithfuls. But we're
Spoken like a couple of true coaches. You know,
That's
there's
right.
nobody that gets more impatient with referees than coaches.
well, that's again, when you throw that many flags and the clock is stopped that many times, you're
Something's
going
not
to
right.
elongate the game.
Yeah.
All right, so they take over 2nd and 6. The Panthers with the football. Motion number 30 across the formation to a trips formation. Back to pass Maurice Soja. It is a screen. Aaron Kennebrew with the ball. Big number 3. And guess what? There's
And
another
we have
flag
a
on the
flag
field.
coming in from the defensive backfield
Flag
this
on the
time.
play.
Aaron Kennebrew picks up a 1st down with about an 8-yard gain, but we'll see what the flag is.
Kennebrew was
Looks like in the
for a
area of a
first down.
hold out in the field again. We'll see.
And this one is going back against against PRP. So, you know, as I said earlier, there is always almost every offensive lineman holds on every play. But if you hold on too long and they begin to pull away from you, and if the ref can see a jersey or some, then you're caught and then you're done. And but it's just part of blocking, and one of the ways you learn to do that is get in tight, get a hold of them. And so it's, and again, that's where I have to go and say, if you're making it obvious, you're going to get called every time.
And there's a lot of that going on. It looks like North Hardin's in a man cover situation here on 2nd and 14.
Ball is dropped in the backfield.
Reese Soja looks like he's on
he
it.
He is able to pick it up again. Bad snap. Can't tell if it was a bad snap. Maybe a little bit low on the shotgun, and he just wasn't able to grab a hold of it.
Soldier recovers his own fumble.
So North Hardin went backwards quite a bit on their last possession, and now PRP has set themselves up in a 3rd and 16.
Moving in the same direction.
We had some good offense going in early in the first quarter, and now both offenses are going backwards.
Absolutely frustrating for the coaches to see that begin to happen.
It's hard to call plays that far behind the yardage sticks. Empty backfield. Maurice Soldier by himself in the backfield. 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He'll take the snap on 3rd and 15 or 16. Working up in the pocket, but he's under pressure, and down he goes.
Down.
Sack by Isaiah Beasley.
Number 46, Isaiah Beasley on the sack.
4th down.
Big play.
Looks like Soja's, he stayed down there on his knee for a little bit. I don't know, he may have gotten his hand crunched up in there. And, so much of athletics is timing, rhythm, and when everything gets broken up with, you just can't establish any kind of timing or rhythm, and just one of the things that frustrates you so much.
Especially as a quarterback. PRP is back in punt formation. Snap is good. The kick is away. It's a high kick, but it's not very far. It looks like the Trojans, big PRP bounce.
PRP, huge bounce.
15, 20-yard bounce.
1st and 10.
It bounced and rolled as far as it was in the air.
That's correct. It wasn't a very good kick and just a good break. One of the things we always tried to coach our return men, and it's hard when the ball's that short to actually catch it, but catching punts is one of the most important things you can do, because that roll will cost you 15, 20 yards of field position a lot. So
absolutely a perfect example of why that's so important.
1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 30-yard line. 4 wide receivers. Josh Moore to the right, along with Marcus Harris. Eric Moore to take the snap, and it's Elijah Banks taking the ball up the middle, about 3 yards.
And Banks just buried his head right into the chest of that defender, and just by doing that, number 35 Panther, and he hit him hard, stood his ground, but he pushed him back another 3 yards just by.
Which will leave us with 2nd and 6. Trying to. The Panthers were really discombobulated.
Yeah, they definitely are out of sorts at this point in time.
Number 35 was trying to get off the field, and the entire defensive line jumped offside. So I don't know, with the substitution and with what was going on, they were really confused. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 1 now for the Trojans from their own 39-yard line. 4 wides. Moore to take the snap. Give to Banks straight ahead. Number 12 on the tackle, but I think he's got it, Jeff.
He is met at the line, but he just keeps those feet moving and is able to power by. It looks like we do have a 1st down.
The tackle there was by Ramiko Mucker, one of the defensive standouts, defensive end for the Panthers. He was standing right there.
Love that second effort. He definitely hit him at the line and started pushing back, but he just kept those moving.
1st and 10 now from their own 41-yard line. The Trojans have the football. Fake throw to Ramaj Adams to the left on a quick screen, about 3 yards.
Number 78's lost his helmet for the North Hardin Trojans.
78 is DJ Woods. He'll have to come out for a play, and Big 00 Octavius Oxendine will check in.
It's not a bad substitute.
2nd and 7.
Good point.
You could have one of your best linemen come off as your backup. You're doing
There's your
good.
backup right there. The national recruit comes in to rescue you. 4 wides, 2nd and 8. Straight ahead to Elijah Banks for another 3
right
or
up
4.
the middle, picks up about 5 yards on that. Absolutely. He's an impressive runner. Not a big guy, but fast and can cut well and tough. Just keeps those legs moving.
That just shows you the commitment to the run. They're running the football here to start this drive. Coach
Really
probably tired of watching them go backwards. So 3rd and 5 now, big 3rd down from their own 46-yard line.
It's really a great way to pick up some rhythm like we were talking about. And Boy, Moore's definitely doing something with a hard count or whatever it is. It's working because PRP is absolutely out of their element right now. Another 5 yards.
That ought to give him a first down, Jeff. Again, as you mentioned, the hard count by Eric Moore, drawing the defensive line off sides. That's an easy way to pick up a first down.
If you're good at it, and we've seen Moore do it in weeks previous to this, so he's obviously got the ability to make that happen.
1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Moore back to pass. Receivers running down the
He's
field.
got time.
Quick out.
He's got his man.
Moore on
And
the
he gets
catch.
it on the tip.
Spectacular down the field.
Beautiful.
Up the sideline.
He is in
Touchdown,
for the
Trojans.
touchdown. North Hardin Trojans.
Pass to Josh Moore. He goes from the 49 to the 40.
Beautiful, hanging with that, tipped up, turned around, stayed with the ball, paid off.
So the ball is thrown a little high. The defender tips the ball. Very dangerous. Could have been picked for a touchdown the other way.
Absolutely, it could have gone either way on that tip, but
Not a great throw, but Josh Moore bails his brother out with a great catch and run. And I got to say, Marcus Harris, downfield, number 8, the other wide receiver for the Trojans, throws a big block and allows them to get in the end zone. Oh, it's a fake. And we
One
got a
for
wide
two.
open receiver. Oh,
and he drops it.
They set up the old muddle huddle to the left and snapped it to Eric Moore, the holder, who is the quarterback.
Wow.
Rolls out. It has a wide open Ian Patry, who could not hang on to the ball.
That is so frustrating. There was not a defender anywhere around him. He was completely left alone. So
Good
once
throw too,
again,
Jeff. It hit him in the chest.
absolutely. He hit him right in the numbers. That doesn't frustrate you at all as a quarterback, does it, when you hit your receiver right in the numbers and there's nobody around him? But, hey, it happens.
It does happen. And so with 8:06 to go in the second quarter, that'll give the Trojans a 13-0 lead over the PRP Panthers.
Once again, have to come back to Josh Moore's ability to hang with the ball on that. Popped it straight up in the air. The defender was going for it too, but he just kept his eye on the ball, did not lose his bearings. Hung in there, got the ball, boom, turned, and it was open season at that point in time. But that block was absolutely imperative because he did have 2 defenders down there that he had to get through, and the block was well put.
Yeah, great job by Marcus Harris. That's those hustle plays that helps you win ball games. If you recall, Jeff, we had a 65-yard run earlier in the game by Lavelle Wright. He gets tackled on the 10-yard line, and they get 0 points out of it.
Right.
So a block like that to help you get into the end zone down there.
Right.
You never know if he doesn't throw the block, if he doesn't hustle,
Right.
the other team makes a tackle, and they might stop you like they did earlier in the game.
And it's so easy to hit in the back block when you're doing that too in that open field. So
Darren Green
squib
kicking a low
kick.
squib. Ball's loose.
I believe
It hit one of the up men.
it sure did. It looks like it's
Bounced
Trojan
off.
ball.
Trojan
And
football.
it is. Back to the Trojans.
Darren Green, the kicker, a great job
Absolutely.
rolling the ball. And, again, they're trying to keep it out of the hands of the deep return men for the Panthers, but
The squib
they've
kick
taken advantage of
ended
it.
up being an onside kick and hit the first line, and he was definitely not one of their hands men.
That is an advantage if you're going to kick the ball in that
Yeah.
situation to guys who aren't used to catching the football and it bounced right off.
They did
Great play.
Did not have their hands team in for that one.
1st and 10, Trojans from the 47-yard line. Motion Ramaj Adams, jet sweep, blocked by Lavelle Wright.
But closes down quickly.
Ramaj Adams picks up 5 yards.
Picked up 5 yards.
Well, that's the first time I think that we've seen North Hardin be really successful getting around the edge on the outside play there. Jet sweep to Ramaj Adams.
Took a long time to develop, but able to pick up a long 5 yards.
That defense has now been on the field quite a while. They may be wearing down. We got trips to the left, 2nd and 6. Give inside to Lavelle Wright. Cut back to the right. He's got a lot of space.
He has a lot of room. Hits and
Another
rolls. First down, Trojans.
Another great block by Marcus Harris down the field, and Lavelle Wright running guys over.
Now we've seen some rhythm develop. When you're talking about that running game, they were committed to that at the beginning, and it overcame those issues of just getting some timing. Now you're seeing their timing, got some rhythm going.
I'm seeing some D linemen from PRP walking around to their positions. They are gassed.
They absolutely are.
Lavelle Wright up the middle again for a big gain.
They were sitting over there ready to take a little bit of a rest, and boom, back on the field.
Jeff, I love Josh Moore. He is waving. Let's hurry. Let's keep going.
Keep it rolling. He sees their weakness, and he is not letting up.
Lavelle Wright to the right. Eric Moore ready for the snap.
Somebody moved.
PRP jumped again, I believe.
Quick 5 yards. Absolutely.
That'll give them a first down. It was 2nd and 1, so 1st and 10 Trojans from the Panther about 14-yard line, deep in Panther territory. We're in the red zone.
Eric Moore has absolutely got his head into this game. He's seeing everything he needs to do. And when you see those D linemen gassing like that and going for air, you just go for the throat right there.
I think that's what they're looking for.
Happen.
There really is that feeling and that look about this Trojan team right now. They are really looking to go for the throat, try to stomp on this team and put them away early. Winding the clock. Trips to the left. Right behind Moore now. Ball straight ahead. Cut to the left. Good run. Wow.
Takes it down about the 4 yard line. Just driving that ball right down the throat of a very, very tired PRP defense.
Jeff, I didn't see much of a hole, but I think the push.
Yeah, I don't think
the O-line had knocked PRP back about 5 yards.
Right now it doesn't need a long. It doesn't. You don't need a hole. You just need to get behind your guys, and there's no way PRP is going to stop.
Another offside penalty against PRP, and I believe the PRP coaches have called timeout. I think they can see their guys are worn out and they're jumping off sides.
Need some time. Absolutely.
I think that may have been a little overdue. They may need to have done that earlier.
That's a good timeout for the PRP coach. That's you hate to do it, but boy, you got to give them a break right now. They're dying out there.
Well, just again, a quick reminder, this is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX, Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank.
1st and goal for the Trojans.
Trojans now will have the football on about the 5 yard line.
1st and goal. They're bringing the line.
Officials are spotting the ball. Not quite a first down, just short of foot.
Short. And I thought they had already given it to him. So we're back to 2nd and about 6 inches, I would say. And the ball's on the 3 yard line.
Okay. Looks like the Panthers are going into a man-to-man looking defense. They're going to be blitzing, trying to shut down the run. We got 2 backs with Eric Moore in the backfield. Ramaj Adams and Lavelle Wright. Snap, right straight ahead.
Up the middle.
Easy into the end zone.
Smart call. Even a timeout's not enough to get them refreshed enough to start the hard running. They're definitely at this point in time. Trojans are winning that battle in the middle, but you know, you get a team that's tired like that, you start pounding the ball up the middle. I mean, it's impacting you on every level.
Well, we have the whether you want to call it the lonesome polecat or the muddle huddle. You've got a bunch of guys to the left. They're going to call them back in, and Eric Moore will spot the ball for Darren Green as he will attempt the point after. Snap, hold, kick.
And
low kick, but
good.
it's through.
It's high enough.
The kick from Darren Green.
There we have it.
Is good. With
Jeff, 6:21 to go in the second quarter. Trojans 20, Panthers 0.
PRP 0.
That was exactly what they were hoping for on that. This absolutely mounts a difficult opportunity for PRP to be able to build something back. But there's a lot of football game left, and you know, I have to say, you know, my earlier thoughts when I looked at some of the stats, I really did question PRP's ability to pass the ball, especially against this Trojan defense, which in past games has been pretty stiff. And it's proven to bear out. You know, the only thing that I could see on paper that they had, you know, was their running game. And but right now, that has not been able to get what they need.
Darren Green ready to kick off, and the ball has fallen off the tee. They'll kick off again. 6:21 to go in the first half. The PRP deep men are now standing at the 20-yard line, looking for that. And there's another onside kick. It's still rolling around loose, and the Trojans may have it again. They're all pointing that they've got the football. Again, the Trojans. I'm telling you, that PRP defense has got to be about beside themselves.
Absolutely demoralizing at this point when you're defense. Once again, we may even see at this point in time PRP bringing in some of their second team D just to give something of a break, because those boys were gassed, absolutely gassed.
Well, it's a third time in a row now having to go out onto the field. Their offense really hasn't been on the field for the last 8 or 9 minutes of the ball game. It's the Trojans' third straight possession. They've scored on their last 2 possessions, 3 backs. The give is to Elijah Banks around the right.
We do have a flag in the backfield. I believe we're going to see holding in the backfield on North Hardin. You know, both of these teams and these programs have had some pretty solid players come out and make it in college and even to the NFL. So a Tywan Taylor out of PRP, a wide receiver with the Tennessee Titans.
Jeff, I coached against him about 6 years ago in a playoff game, and let me tell you, they had a couple other receivers that looked like they were headed to the NFL as well. That was a tough football team about 6 years ago when they went to the state championship game. The give is to Elijah Banks around the left side.
Keeps moving.
Broken 3 tackles to get about 2 or 3 yards.
You've got to love that.
Elijah Banks on the carry.
That'll bring up about a 2nd and 13 for the Trojans. I love the fact that we're at a 1st and 15, and the Trojans are still committed to running the football right there.
They are not going to stop. Well, it's working, and you know, if you've got a worn-out defense, you put them away by running the ball.
Quick screen to Josh Moore to the left. He's breaking tackles. Again, a modest gain, but 4 to 5 yards, and that's going to put them at about a 3rd and 9. So they're moving the football back into position.
I've just always felt like that was really just an extended running play. It's just getting the ball into somebody else's hands in the backfield and spreading it out wide.
Again, Josh Moore's a good one to get it to.
Yeah, it is.
All right, trips to the left into the short side of the field. Eric Moore ready to receive the snap. We may have an offsides on the offense this time, as many times as they've been able to draw the defense offsides. This time on the Trojans.
A little bit of a break for PRP there.
Yeah, it's going to put the Trojans behind the sticks. They're going to be at about a 3rd and 14 now from the Panther 41-yard line. We'll have 4 wide receivers. Elijah Banks next to Eric Moore in the backfield. Snap. He's looking down the left side.
He's got all kinds of time.
Now he's scrambling to his right, deep down the field. Marcus
Harris
wide open.
He is
catch.
all the way.
Touchdown, Trojans.
Down Trojans. Beautiful pass.
42-yard touchdown, Trojans.
Absolutely beautiful. Once again, Eric Moore, smart quarterback, just kept rolling around, came out to the side on the run, throws an absolute laser on target, and the back made the appropriate cut, caught the ball, it was all over.
So Marcus Harris with the touchdown catch of 45 yards, and just a great throw, like you said. He extends the play. There's the kick by Darren Green. It's through. So with 4:48.
27-0
in the half. 27, Trojans 0, Panthers
just
3
shy,
straight, Jeff.
Just shy of 5 minutes left in this quarter. PRP would like to go to the locker room. Things are not rolling for them. So once again, so you have 2 special teams plays where you gave up the ball and you're going to do it for a 3rd time. You got some nervous people right there on the line. It just adds to the absolute, humiliation and also to the frustration of them right now to say, okay, what do you say to your boys right now at this point in time?
I'm looking right now at what's going on out there. I don't see any lineman numbers coming out onto the field for the Panthers. They've got a hands team on the field is what they've got. They've got some of their defensive backs and defensive linebackers, and they don't have anybody deeper than 20 yards from where Darren Green's going to be kicking the ball. So they've gone to their hands team here. If Green kicks deep right now, they're going to be scrambling to go pick up the ball somewhere around the 10 to 15-yard line. So
he's starting to drop back a little deeper now, though.
And he's going to kick it
Up
through.
the middle.
Ball loose again.
Continuing to be loose, but he's down. So that ended up working out well for both teams from their perspective. At least PRP kept the ball, and the Trojans did what they want, pinned them deep at about the 23.
Well, you've got to be careful. You know, a lot of times coaches will take special teams as an opportunity to give your starters a play off. And that can be a mistake. You need good athletes everywhere on the field on that kickoff return team. Guys that can handle a kick, even if it's a lineman, it's got to be a kid that's got some hands.
Absolutely.
And so they're paying for it.
Yeah, right now, literally 14 points are on the board because of a failed special teams.
Well, the Panthers, we haven't seen the offense for a while, but Maurice Soja will come back on the field, number 6, flanked by number 3, Aaron Kennebrew, and this is their first opportunity in quite a while here. The handoff to Kennebrew, and he is stuffed. Still fighting for yards.
Kennebrew on the carry.
Aaron Kennebrew looks like he got maybe a yard, but he earned every bit of that, dragging about 4 Trojans.
Does Kennebrew play both ways? I'm wondering if
he has not been on the field on the defensive side.
So at least he's coming in with some fresh legs.
Number 6, I don't believe Maurice Soja, their quarterback, is playing any defense either. So this is a fresh unit.
Kashawn Beasley, I do believe, plays both ways, though.
And he's not in right now.
He is not in, so he's probably.
Give to Kennebrew again, straight ahead. Looked like a trap play to the left, and just a minimal gain of maybe
Beasley
2 or 3 yards.
On the tackle.
They absolutely need to keep every one of those D-men on the sideline right now.
For PRP.
Double O, Octavius Oxendine kind of limping off the field there. He's standing next to Coach Henry Bannenbaker down there to get his instructions. The defense is in a good spot, 3rd and 9, and trying to get the ball back for the offense in just a few seconds again. The Panthers have only had 2 snaps here and about to turn it back over. Trips to the left.
3rd and 9.
Sojo stepping up in the pocket, but
And
he is under all kinds of pressure.
He is not able to break free.
Soja
Had he
is
broken
sacked
that
on the
last
play.
tackle, he may very well have been able to break it outside for a few more yards, but wasn't to be. So good defense by the Trojans to once again.
Ashley.
You know, you can't turn the ball over on the kickoff. Next best thing, 3 and out.
Yeah, that's number 59, Chris Ashley, on the sack. A big play for Chris. And again, like you said, 4th and 11, and PRP Panthers are in punt formation. Barely get the punt off.
Yeah,
This is a good
great.
punt.
Really
but
good
still
punt.
not
And get away from
caught.
that.
Ramaj Adams is going to pick it up.
So dangerous.
Breaking around to the right, and he'll be dragged down. There's a flag on the play. That's going to be a horse collar.
I believe you're right. Honestly, though, I'm really surprised that Ramaj Adams picked up that ball. He was on the run with a Panther right on his tail, and he just picked that ball up on the run. That could go either way really quickly, but he did turn it into a few yards, but now with this horse collar, it's going to be turned into even more.
Trojans are going to take over somewhere up near midfield again after the penalty. Number 7, who was in on the tackle, the young man who's had 2 sacks earlier in the game, he's a little shaken up.
Yeah. I believe we're going to be at about the 46, 47-yard line, maybe 48.
Actually, Jeff, they didn't call the horse collar. They must have called an illegal block.
So it's back 5 yards. No, we had that one wrong.
I think they missed the horse collar. He had a hold of the back of the
I believe you're
shoulder
right.
pads, dragging him down from behind.
Which is about where the ball would have been if it would have been down on the kickoff.
Absolutely. So 4 wide receivers in the pistol formation. Give to Lavelle Wright straight ahead. About a 4-yard gain for Lavelle.
Wright on the carry.
So right now with 2 minutes left, you're up 27 points.
Gain of 5. 2nd and 5.
Looks like you're just going to run the ball, run the clock down.
I think they're going to put one in the zone here, Jeff. It's 2nd and 5 from their own 28.
Going to run it up.
They're giving the ball to Lavelle Wright. It's pulled.
Cuts
Eric
out to
Moore
the right.
around to the
Eric
right
Moore.
side. He'll run out of bounds.
Eric Moore on the carry.
Eric Moore is really a big guy. He's quite an athlete.
Good run, and they get out of bounds. They may have to measure this to see if he's picked
Very
up the
close
first
to
down.
first down.
I haven't seen an indication yet. They're calling first down. So it'll be first and 10 for the Trojans from their own 33-yard line, and they're ready to go. They're ready to snap it when the chains get moved.
They are not letting up. They're keeping the pressure on. This pedal is down, and they're heading for the zone.
Pistol formation, that means Lavelle Wright is behind the quarterback instead of flanking him to one side or the other. The snap, looking down the field to the left,
Snap deep.
back to the right.
He has
Josh
his
Moore
man.
wide
Josh
open.
Moore's wide
Another
open.
catch.
And he is down at the 10-yard line, but absolutely gorgeous pass. Connects with his younger brother, Josh.
59-yard pass play. Eric Moore to Josh Moore. They are continuing to rack up the big plays.
Absolutely beautiful combination right there. Well, you're right, Coach. Did not let up on the pressure.
No.
Going to roll this one all the way in.
Well, first and goal from just inside the 10. Nose over the 10. Two backs, Ramaj Adams, Lavelle Wright, straight downhill at it.
Continues
A good
roll into
6-yard
about the 5.
gain.
Lavelle Wright on the carry.
That'll bring up a second and goal from about the 4-yard line, maybe the 3,
Gain
Jeff.
of 6. Second and 4 for the Trojans.
All right, two backs in the backfield. Ramaj Adams to the right, Lavelle behind Eric Moore, straight downhill
Middle
again,
and
easy
he's all the
touchdown.
way in there.
Jeff, he wasn't touched till 3 yards deep in the end zone.
He was open. I'll tell you,
Touchdown!
absolutely. They those defensive linemen are going to need some oxygen.
6.
33 could be 34.
Well, we continue to see a North Hardin dominant football team tonight. And Darren Green will set up to snap. It's down, the kick, and it's good.
Darren Green's kick.
Darren Green for the
is
point after
good.
touchdown, and again with 1:20 to go in the first half, 34 Trojans, 0 Panthers.
0.
Well, we're getting close to halftime, and you know that PRP would really love to just kind of bring this to a halt. I mean, if they could turn around right now and got a minute 20. I mean, their offense has shown nothing for them to be able to take a minute 20 and parlay that into some points at this point in time. But, man, what a boost it would be to them to just at least get something rolling right now.
Jeff, with about 9 minutes to go, that's 8 minutes to go in playing time. This was a 13-0 game, you know, since then, 3 touchdowns by the Trojans, only 3 offensive snaps for the PRP Panthers, and it's 34-0. So this game, which looked to be
Fairly
somewhat
close.
competitive, you know, and the Panthers were having some success here and there. In fact, I think at that point it was actually 7-0. We've seen 4 touchdowns in about an 8-minute stretch here, and the Panthers haven't really had the football.
And what you're looking at is 34 points right now in the last 2 games. I believe the Trojans scored 31 and 34 in those 2 games total. So they're already at their total game score totals for the last 2 games. So
PRP will take over first and 10 at the 30.
All right, so the onside kick, or the squib kick, I guess. They have turned into onside kicks here lately, but the squib kick is fielded by the Panthers, and with 1:20 to go, they'll take over. First and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Again, Maurice Soja and running back Aaron Kennebrew, who have had amazing numbers over the first 3 weeks, are really struggling right now. They'll take the field with one more opportunity this half. 4 wide receivers. I believe I see Kennebrew out of the ball game right now. No, he's in the game. Deep down the field, number 13,
has his
Tremel
man,
Lee.
and he holds on.
Catch.
What a beautiful catch. Man,
Soja's pass is
he was
complete.
tagged right after that. Beautiful catch.
27-yard gain.
Absolutely.
Soja to Tremel Lee on the big
First down,
completion. That's the same look they had early in the game where Tremel Lee had an opportunity to catch one down the field. This time he makes a great play and
Beautiful
takes
catch.
a hit.
That was the best offensive play of theirs for the half.
Trips to the left. First and 10. Give inside. Aaron Kennebrew for about 3.
Kennebrew on the carry.
Well, their offense has had plenty of time to be refreshed over there on the side. So
gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
That was gorgeous. Really surprised he held onto that ball. He was tagged after he was in the air as he caught the ball.
Hitting the back too, wasn't it?
Yes, he was.
46 seconds to go. Quick hitch to the right
First
side.
down.
Number
He's
14,
got clear.
Delgado, turning to run up the sideline to the 2.
I don't believe he's in. Yes, he's out about the 2. Gorgeous set of. Boy, they have put together some plays right here and executed them well. So, man, you've got to hand it to him.
First and goal.
Say, I want to come back out here and try to make something happen.
Soja with a good pass there. I believe that was number 14, Anthony Delgado on the catch. And a big run. He catches the hitch pass, a 6-yard catch, and turns it into a 30-yard gain up the sideline. So it'll be first and goal from the 2. You expect them to go straight ahead, or are they going to try to throw the football?
I think they're probably going to. And he tries to run it. I was really thinking they would try to run it up.
Mistake. Fumble. And the Trojans have the football. I can't see who caused the fumble or who recovered the fumble.
It looked like it was a broken play. I don't know if that was a quarterback keeper or
it was, Jeff.
And that's too bad.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, Jeff, but it looked like when Maurice Soja, he faked to Aaron Kennebrew, and when he came out, he had the ball in one hand.
You cannot do that in the interior of the line like that. Not at this level. You cannot. This is where, again, as coaches, I know they have to go crazy, but you're not a pro. You do the basics. You hang on with 2 hands, and it's always impressive when you see them doing things that are good mental IQ like that, and doing what they're supposed to do. This is where you learn. You learn the fundamentals. Cannot handle it. Like a loaf of bread coming around the edge. You're going to lose it, and he did.
Well, again, yes, when the quarterback makes the fake and starts running to the outside, he's the running back now. He's got to tuck it away and protect it.
You really have to feel bad now for PRP. I mean, put together some amazing gutsy plays right there, executed them well, great athleticism, tremendous pass, yards after the catch, and you get down inside the 5 and you fumble the ball. That's tough. That's a tough thing right now when you're already down 34-0.
I want to remind everybody, tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. Special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew. Those are made up of all high school students. We're thrilled to have them on the cameras tonight. All right, North Hardin back on the field after the timeout, and 31 seconds to go in the half, up 34-0, deep in their own territory on the 3-yard line.
Just pushing it up the middle. They're going to let the clock run out at this point in time.
So maybe one of the only times you'll see Eric Moore under center right there to run the quarterback sneak, trying to protect the football in their own end.
It's not his typical MO.
Gain of 1.
Well, the Trojans are running off the field. That was to run the clock off, and the play clock is dead, and Trojans will take it in at halftime. So Jeff, any first half thoughts to wrap up for our viewers?
Yeah, my gut was right. When I just looked at this on paper, I think one of the first things I said to you tonight was this could be a blowout. And not a prophet by any means, but it was exactly in that sense. But absolutely, neither of us could have ever thought that it's going to be on that, special teams. And that's exactly what turned the tide. Pretty close game before that. Definitely, a reasonable game. But, man, a couple of those quick turnovers like that, and, man, you're in bad shape. So you got to hand it to the North Hardin Trojans, who they absolutely saw the weakness. They saw the tired defensive backs and defensive line, continued to keep it rolling, kept the pressure on, took it down, executed well. I mean, just because you see that doesn't mean you can execute it. They did it. They did exactly what they need. Got to give it to Eric Moore and the Trojan offense for doing what they needed to do.
Well, again, a great job by the Trojans, up 34-0 here at the half over the PRP Panthers. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for some more exciting second half action with the North Hardin Trojans and PRP Panthers.
birds make their nests in circles. For theirs is the same religion as ours. Even the seasons form a great circle in their changing, and always come back again to where they were. The life of a man is a circle, from childhood to childhood. And so it is in everything where power moves.
Hello to HCEC-TV's live sports broadcast. Of course, we are sponsored in part by many local businesses, and we're really thrilled to bring you an upcoming season that is packed with some great competition. Joining me today is one of Brandenburg Telecom's sponsors, along with HCEC-TV, is Karen Collard, who is the property manager at etownapartments.com. Now, in addition to being the property manager, Karen, you also have a familiar tie to etownapartments.com. Talk about that.
Yes, I do. My brother, Mark Harris, and I do this together. He's with the construction. He does the construction and builds everything that we rent. We have, that gives us the ability to build what we see the community has a need for. We've got everything from single level 1-bedrooms, we've got 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms, duplexes, townhomes, apartments, single family homes, brand new construction family homes. It gives me some diverse stuff to offer the community as well.
That's great. Now, since our last taping, you've got some new properties that you want to share with us.
Yes, we do. We're very excited to be expanding. We have already expanded to Bardstown, Hodgenville, and that has gone over great. We stay full in those communities. We've got new property out on Ring Road, right in the center of Elizabeth.
Somebody kicked a cord. They lost their feet for a little while. I don't know how long, but.
Okay. Well.
Welcome back to Ray Story Field here at North Hardin High School. Paul Gray alongside Jeff Knoll to call the second half. North Hardin Trojans 34, PRP Panthers 0. And Jeff, I wanted to just mention here that coming into this game, I had hopes that we would have a really good football game. They're ranked 11 and 12. You know, they had won a couple of good football games. I was concerned because they took a drubbing at 44-7. The Panthers did to the Bowling Green Purples, and the Central Hardin almost beat Bowling Green. So when I did some comparisons, and that's dangerous sometimes, I thought, this team, I'm not sure what we're going to get. Are we going to get a team that lays an egg against Bowling Green, or are we going to get a team that beats Valley and Eastern? And what it tells us is those wins may not have been that big of a win.
It does, and what it also tells me is, as we were looking at their schedule coming up here in the future, PRP's got to have a long season ahead of them. But once again, how much of this is simply for the fact that, North Hardin exploited a weakness in their special teams, and because of that, you had a 14-point turnaround there in a matter of minutes, and that just completely decimated their defense. And so I don't know. I'm still thinking we've not really seen what PRP is capable of doing here. I think they're a better team than what we've seen here, but that last set of downs when they took that kickoff and with a minute 20 left began to advance it, taking it all the way down to 3. But again, mental error, fumble the ball. But boy, they did put together some plays right there.
We've seen a lot of mental error, Jeff, with the turnovers, with the lack of special teams play, with the immense number of penalties we saw early in that first half. It just looks like a team that's not really disciplined and ready to go. I know Coach Williams has worked very hard with these guys. I've coached against Coach Williams, and they're just uncharacteristically making a ton of errors in this game. And so what was a seemingly competitive game just turned into an avalanche. And everything's just heading downhill.
And if I understand it correctly, with high school rules, we're on the edge of a running clock, possibly.
Well, we could have a quick one. We'll just see if PRP can come back out and get some stops. But if they can't, once we get to a 36-point lead, and once it goes over 35, that 5-touchdown barrier by KHSA rule, you run the clock. So we're 1 point short of that right now.
Which they could have prevented had they scored that at the very end, But at this point in time, North Hardin could come out here and get a quick score, and boom, we're into a running clock. So
absolutely.
Well,
let me also, Jeff, address the fact that we had a little bit of background noise earlier, and we're struggling to hear a little bit. But we also understand from our truck, the hardworking folks in our truck, that we lost coverage for a little while there. And Jeff and I were joking a minute ago that we were having a good time talking to each other anyway.
It's okay.
Whether or not anybody else could hear us or not. But
Paul, it was the best broadcasting we did, man.
Well, we were brilliant for at least that amount of time, and so our good folks in the truck down there informed us that we believe that one of their wires had become dislodged by probably a fan stepping on something or kicking something loose. And so we lost feed for a little while. So I don't know what you guys saw and what you didn't see, but hopefully we've recapped this avalanche of action that. With several onside kicks. They weren't intended, I don't think, to be onside kicks, but mishandled kicks that were squib kicks. Darren Green, who's about to kick off again for North Hardin. And that has led to PRP going to their hands team, full-time hands team with number 9, Kashawn Beasley back deep, the playmaker for the PRP Panthers.
Which is the reason for the squib kicks. North Hardin understands that he is dangerous. He's absolutely dangerous. He's got 6 touchdowns that are listed as other, which means they're not a rushing and they're not a passing, so they're probably special teams.
Special teams or defensive interception returns, and there's the kickoff. Darren Green kicking it.
It's going to roll out of bounds before you get to it. The flag is down, so we'll have a penalty on the kickoff. And it'll come back out to the 35, I believe, is where they'll start.
Jeff, how much you want to guess that PRP is not going to make him kick it again? They're going to go ahead and take the ball.
I'm pretty sure that that's absolutely the case right here.
All right, well, they'll PRP will take over on the right hash, as you said, at the 35-yard line.
PRP will take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
And they'll start there, and we'll see as Maurice Soja brings his team back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go under center here in the I formation with twins to the left, tight end to the right.
actually, they've got tight end left as well, so they're overbalanced to the left here. I'm looking to see a run maybe up the left side. Oh, play action pass, wide open. Oh.
And we have a 10
Flag on the play.
on this one. There was no one in the area. He was definitely did not get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, and that's intentional grounding. Another mental error there. I mean, at that point in time, you're better off to take the sack.
Campbell.
Well, number 48, Jarrell Campbell, had a hold of Maurice Soja, the quarterback for the PRP Panthers.
Intentional grounding against
He
PRP.
did have nothing he could do. It's unfortunate for PRP. Number 14,
Spot
Anthony
penalty.
Delgado, is running up the left sideline by himself. Not a North Hardin defender
close.
within 20 yards of him.
Didn't see him.
But certainly, he, in the play action look, Maurice Soja did not see him running up the sideline. So now it's
second and
gonna be
25
second and 25 after the intentional
for
grounding.
PRP.
Fake the jet sweep and give back on the counter play to number
He gets
3.
quite a bit of it back on that one. Takes
Kennebrew
it back to within
on the
5
carry.
yards of the original ground line of scrimmage. That's a pretty run.
So Aaron Kennebrew getting a 10-yard gain there.
Tackled by Green.
Bring up, I believe, 3rd and 15 or 16.
Third
here.
and 16 for PRP.
And way behind the sticks, not the way Coach wanted to start this drive. A good run there, but just not much of an opportunity here.
And I think we've seen from previous games that PRP is a running team, but we just have not seen them be able to establish that yet. So maybe their plan is to come back out. Let's just regroup. Let's go back to our original plan. And but they are throwing the ball
looking
again.
left. Number 22 is open for a
Soja's
moment
pass
there.
is incomplete.
Zach Kelly was the intended receiver, but it's overthrown. Maurice Soja had to sprint to his left to avoid the rush and just overthrew it.
Other scores around that area.
I was
Taylor
really
County
beginning to think
leads
that maybe
LaRue
they just stay
County
with that running
19 to
game
nothing.
and try to get that established.
Christian
But,
Academy
again,
of
third and
Louisville
long,
leads
you're
20 to
forced
10
do
over
something you gotta
Elizabethtown.
do. But
And
and
South
that again,
Warren,
that's the
24,
problem. When you
Central
get
Hardin,
forced into
0.
third and longs, as a coach, that's the last thing you want to see happen on an offensive possession.
Mistake after mistake after mistake. The punt is away, and the ball's bouncing sideways. This takes a North Hardin bounce this time, and PRP will jump on it. So,
North Hardin will take over.
Trojans
First
will
and
take
10
over first
at
and 10
the
on the right hash,
48-yard line.
about from their own 48-yard line. I see Eric Moore back on the field, ready to go again, and we'll see if this PRP defense has gotten their legs back under them, if they've got anything left after that really difficult second quarter where they didn't come off the field.
Yeah, because in that first quarter, they absolutely were getting some pressure on Moore. They were busting through, with 3 down linemen. Now they have gone to 4 down linemen, and so maybe we'll see some different blitzing patterns here. But they were able to do it.
2 backs for North Hardin. Elijah Banks
Right
straight
up
ahead.
the middle for a good 5-6 yards.
Elijah Banks on
They
the carry.
exposed a weak middle in that
6-yard
one,
gain.
just busting
Second
it up.
and 4.
Ramaj
for the
Adams was
Trojans.
also in the backfield, and he was the lead blocker, almost acting like the fullback. You don't really talk much about fullbacks when you have a spread offense, but
Power eye.
he's in that I formation with the quarterback taking the snap and the shotgun. So we got 2 backs, 3 wide receivers, snap, inside trap, handoff to Ramaj Adams. He bounces off the back.
one, takes it to the left, outside around, and
Ramaj
it's good
Adams
for a first
on
down
the
for the
carry.
Trojans to about their own 37-yard line. I believe.
Gain of 8 for a first down Trojans.
So first and 10 for the North Hardin Trojans.
Mark
As you
that
can
on
see,
the 39.
You can see Coach Thompson's coming out. He's just going to run the football. We saw this over at John Hardin a few weeks ago when they got up.
Right.
It was time to just run the football, and there's no reason right now to expect they won't continue to run successfully. Turn, handoff to Elijah Banks off the right side. Minimal gain.
Well, when you have 2 studs in the
Banks
backfield like
on
they
the
do,
carry.
I mean, that's a solid game right there, even if you did not have the passing game. And this is what makes North Hardin just
Gain
a
of
real
2,
threat for whoever's
second and
playing them
8
this year. I mean,
for
the
the Trojans.
reality is they could blow out pretty much every team they play this year if they put those 2 factors together. And you got a 2-dimensional team that is effective at that with a quarterback like Moore. They're dangerous, absolutely dangerous.
Again, 2 backs this time to either side of Eric Moore. We've got 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left, 2nd and 7. The handoff, inside handoff to Elijah Banks. Again, bouncing off of the back of one of his offensive linemen, but stacked up. Number 12,
Banks
Ramiko
on the
Mucker
carry.
on another play for the PRP Panthers.
You're doing well for not knowing too many of the numbers, Paul.
Coach gave me about 5 numbers, and I haven't seen any of these guys make plays except for Miko Mucker, number 12, defensive end.
I was fairly certain that was the first time you'd called that name.
Well, that's the second time on old Miko. He's making a few plays, so hand off again.
Up the middle, spin, and not much on that one. So we're looking at looks like we're down to about the 34-yard line, so probably going to go for
Banks
it.
on the carry.
4th and 4 now. Banks
Gain of
picks
1,
up a yard
4th
on
and
the play.
4 for the Trojans.
That time it was Rico Beard, number 41, on the tackle. A number of Panthers were there to stop that. So 4th down and 4 yards to go, and again a 2-back look.
I don't look for them to pass it.
Eric Moore getting the signal from the coach, checking his wristband for the play.
Got that full backfield.
Fake, option pitch. Elijah Banks.
He has the first down. He busts his way down
Elijah Banks
the right side.
on the carry.
About a yard. They're still holding the chains.
This is absolutely.
They are going to have to measure this one, Jeff.
They are, but boy, this is execution-wise. They're coming out doing exactly what I'm sure they said in the locker room. We're going to go out there. We're going to be patient.
Officials
get that
timeout
running
for a
game
measurement.
rolling and just wear them down. Just wear it out and have a long first drive. Exactly what you want as a coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, pretty well executed 4th and 4 play there. They're running the option.
Right.
They ride the fullback and come out in a quick pitch from Moore. He wasn't looking to hang on to the football. He gets it to Banks. Banks had to break through 2 or 3 tacklers there to try to pick that up, and then he has.
First
down. The carry is good for a first down, Trojans.
Indicating from the side. All right.
Well, the Trojans will have a 1st and 10 now from the 29-yard line of the PRP Panthers. Panthers are substituting several defensive linemen. And again, in a 2-back set, you don't see this much. This is their kill the clock formation as far as going with 2 backs. They're trying to run what some might call the 4-minute drill, where you're running clock. Handoff to Banks up the middle again.
It's about 2.
Banks on the carry.
Pretty effective, though, at rolling out of that with a couple of different options on that, and they certainly could have hung on to that, come out and done a play-action pass around the side.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Pretty effective set of downs we're seeing here, and definitely a new look for them.
Again, 41 Rico Beard for the Panthers on the tackle. We've gone back to a 1-back set, and Ramaj Adams fumble on the jet sweep. That's actually going to be a forward pass because he actually didn't hand it to Ramaj Adams. He pitched it forward. That is a forward pass. Incomplete, Jeff.
Absolutely. It was a little bit of a shuttle pass there, but he
3rd
was only
and
about
9 for the
3
Trojans.
feet in front of him, so fortunate for the Trojans.
That may be a good reason why you would do it that way. If you mishandle it, it's an incomplete pass, not a fumble.
Absolutely.
And so they'll go back now with a 3rd and 9. Long yardage. We got 4 wide receivers. Lavelle Wright now, number 7, is checked in. He's on to the right of Eric Moore. Moore looking for the snap. He's looking down the field to throw the football. Looking up the sideline.
He has his man.
Number 6, Ramaj Adams.
Just right over his shoulder.
Moore's pass is incomplete, intended for Adams. Brings up 4th down.
Adams ran a great route on that, cut back in on his defender, and it was absolutely a touchdown if that ball had been just a little bit shorter thrown.
Well, you're right. He had to come back inside. I think Eric Moore was expecting him to head toward the sideline, but he had to kind of come back in and work around the defender.
Timeouts, Trojans.
If
They're
you're
first
thrown
to the
to a
half.
spot, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Well, let me just take a moment here as we have a timeout on the field. Trojans are going to talk it over for just a minute here. I want to just offer a special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew. They are earning their keep today, not their money, but their keep with our student broadcast team. We're so thankful for our crew. We've got Evan McClure, Maxwell Whitaker, and Lauren Wilson working, and then a couple of our HCEC hard-working employees, Patrick Tall and Reed Sampley, and those guys are working real hard right now. We've had some technical problems, and they've been working hard to make sure those things get fixed. There's nothing you can do about a dislodged cord that some of the fans here must have gotten a hold of with a toe or a foot, and so great job by them. We're glad to be back on the air with you guys tonight. Trojans take the field again. It'll be 4th and 9, and they're not looking to punt, it doesn't appear. They've got 4 wide receivers and Elijah Banks in the backfield with quarterback Eric Moore. Number 18 takes the snap. He is looking down the field again. We've got a couple of quick hitch routes. He's flushed out of the pocket, looking deep down the field again. 2 receivers.
Ball is
incomplete.
Ball's incomplete.
PRP is going to take over.
Well, that was right at the goal line, Jeff, and Marcus Harris and Elijah Banks both were open and had a chance at the football.
Intended for Banks
They ran
or
into
Harris.
each other. Whenever you're scrambling like that, you can get guys
First
running
down,
out of their
10,
normal
PRP.
routes, and they ran into each other.
And the ball was in the air a pretty long time, so it ended up, by the time it got down, it looked like an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary down there, and who's been very effective at those in the last couple of years, but that one was not. It definitely hit the ground.
I think Eric Moore hit 2 receivers on that play.
Pretty sure he did, absolutely.
All right, the Panthers will take back over, and again, we've got a quads formation, 4 wide receivers to the left. Sweep to the left. You got all those receivers over there, lead blocking. Ooh, big tackle. Jerome McKinney, number 11, coming up from his safety position. He just cut down Aaron Kinnebrew.
He really did. Kinnebrew was building up some speed, had some momentum around there. That's a pretty impressive tackle to see.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for PRP.
2nd down and 5 yards to go. PRP has the football at their own 33-yard line. We've got 4 wide receivers. Again, Maurice Soja, quarterback, number 6, and Aaron Kinnebrew next to him. Snap, looking down the field, stepping up in the pocket. He is under pressure. Down he goes.
On the play.
A little bit of a tough snap to handle on that
By
one. He
Terrell
rolled it in and started coming out to the right,
Campbell.
but was not able to turn that into anything.
Number 48, Jarrell Campbell on the sack. I believe that's his 2nd of the game tonight.
Loss of 6.
Jarrell Campbell making a big
3rd
difference
and 11 for PRP.
from his defensive end spot there.
Really got to give it up for the Trojans defense as well. Really, I mean, the only series that they were busted out against was that last one right before the half, and there was one other long series earlier in the half, but you take those 2 series out, they've done a great job.
Quick screen to number 9.
Breaks that open.
That's Beasley.
Soldier's pass
2 yards short of
is
the first
complete.
down.
Well, they're just looking to get the
Beasley,
big playmaker the
tackled
football.
by
That's the
McKinney.
first time I can remember them really getting him the football on offense.
Absolutely.
Gain of 9, 4th and
You
2.
take a guy like that
for
and you give
PRP.
him the ball in some open field, and that was a beautifully drawn up play. 4th and 2.
4 wide receivers. Kinnebrew to the right. Soja inside handoff, and he is just eating a lot.
Nothing.
Kinnebrew
Absolutely nothing.
stopped by host of Trojans. First down,
Jarrell
Trojans.
Campbell and
Cahill
Isaiah Beasley come
leads the
flying
way.
out of the pile, excited about the big stop. The Trojans will take over on offense again, getting a big 4th down stop.
Excellent field position in the PRP territory. So we've got the ball at about the 35-yard line. Opportunity to march it right down.
Moore will take over there in the pistol set. He's got Wright behind him. He'll hand off to Wright straight ahead.
Bounces
Bouncing off
off.
1. Rico Beard, number 41, will
Lavelle
hold him.
Wright on the carry.
Hanging on. Be about a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 for the Trojans.
Well, they're deep in Panther territory. The Trojans have the ball on the Panther 31-yard line. 2nd and 7. 4 wide receivers again. Eric Moore barking out the signals.
And we have some offsides this time. I believe this
I'd
was
say.
against the Trojans.
False start against the Trojans. Loss of
Pretty
5
much
will
everyone
bring
on the
it
right
2nd
side
and
of the
12.
center was moving in that particular one.
Jeff, all 4 wide receivers
New
were 10
score,
yards
Chris
downfield. The
Hemming
center had not
score.
snapped the ball.
Leads
No,
E-Town
that's never a good
27-10.
look.
And South Warren leads Central Hardin.
It's going to be that sick
38-0.
feeling when you're 10 yards down the field and realize we're not supposed to go yet.
Is that offsides on the center? It might be. I don't know.
It could be.
Or everyone else.
Hey, we always got blamed for it.
That's right. Pump left. Deep
deep
throw to
ball.
Josh
He's
Moore
got
right.
him open. Beautiful try by
Eric
Josh
Moore's
Moore,
pass
but
is incomplete.
absolutely out
Intended
of
for
bounds.
Josh Moore.
He really
Yeah.
dove
Josh Moore had 2 or 3 steps on the cornerback there, but the ball was thrown out of bounds.
And he's, it looked like he was getting up slow, but I think he just went into the rope. Glad to see he's okay.
3rd and 12
He made it.
for the Trojans.
Awesome effort to try and catch that ball, even though he was out of bounds.
He was leaning hard, trying to keep his feet in bounds. Just overthrown. And we're going to have another offsides. Ramaj Adams out on the left side, jumping off sides. So we're going to go from 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 17, getting sloppy.
Yeah, you know, you don't, even if you're up 34 to nothing, you hate to see your team break down in discipline like this. This is, you know, this is when you see good coaches really say, you know what, it doesn't matter. Don't look. I'm supposed that when you coach, you kept telling your team, don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at the scoreboard. It doesn't matter. Every play is important.
It's hard when you're talking to 16, 17, and 18-year-olds to get that through sometimes. Moore flushed out of the pocket, throwing
Deep,
wide open. Josh
open,
Moore.
and we have
Touchdown, Trojans, 41 yards.
Eric Moore to Josh Moore.
That's right, Jeff.
Combo we've seen a lot tonight.
His 3rd touchdown of the game, Josh Moore.
Absolutely, that was a combo that we thought we might see a lot of. So we've got a 40-0 game at this point in time.
Touchdown, Trojans.
Well, again, just like we saw in the first half, Jeff, a lot of pressure. And honestly, that's been deadly for the Panthers because whenever they get off script, they're losing. Their defensive backs are just losing the receivers.
Yeah,
they're getting wide open.
They are.
They're not open initially in the routes, but as soon as the protection breaks down and Moore starts scrambling, the defensive backs just lose the receivers and they're wide open down the field.
Yeah, I think man-to-man, these Trojan receivers definitely are able to hang in there longer and you know, make the moves and do what they do to need to get open. And when you got a back like Moore, when you got a quarterback like Moore who can hang in there, extend that play, find that open receiver, bad combination for a team.
And accurate throws on the run, Jeff.
Yeah, that's it's got to be one of your hardest things to do.
Accurate throws 45 yards downfield on the run. That's powerful.
That's pretty impressive. I haven't heard much about you know, Moore being looked at, but I'm sure that there are definitely some recruiters that would keeping an eye on him because he's got a lot of qualities. Big, strong, athletic guy.
So with 4:23 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's 41-0 after the Darren Green extra point, and we ought to see a running clock now.
I believe you're right.
As we saw. I was just pointing out to Jeff here on the sideline. Octavius Oxendine without pads on, so his night is over. Looks like he's got a little bit of a limp, a little hitch in his giddy up there. I see him talking to one of his coaches about what's going on, and looks like at a 41-0 game, even if he's just slightly dinged, they're gonna.
Yeah, they're not letting him get hurt.
Enough.
Yeah, we were at halftime. I was down there listening to some discussion among some coaches, and I believe a lot of it has to do with cramping.
Okay.
So it's not really even major issues, but you know, the thing was, you know, he can't get hurt, not letting him get hurt. We're not going to get hurt. So you know, when you're up this much, you're definitely going to keep your star player on the side, and good for them. You know, there's no reason to do that.
Well, the kick that time was a little deeper there. And Kashawn Beasley had an opportunity, made a really good run back. They'll start 1st and 10 on their own 40. Strange things going on tonight. I saw a shoe go flying 15, 20 yards in the air during that run back. I've never seen that.
I saw something fly up in the air, and I thought that
it was a shoe.
My first thought was a flag, but then I realized it was the wrong color. So I guess we could say there's laundry on the field. It's just not yellow laundry.
That might make a blooper show. We need to get a reel that. Run that back, guys.
I hope we haven't lost connect. That was worth seeing right there.
I'm going to find that on ESPN bloopers somewhere with what happened to the shoe? Somebody just threw on 40 yards in the air.
When it's 41-0 in the 3rd quarter, there's all kinds of fun things that can happen.
All right, running clock. It's 3:03 to go in the 3rd quarter. And again, we got 4 wide receivers. Maurice Soja back at quarterback and under pressure, stepping up in the pocket. Good throw to number 87, but can't handle it. Hit him right in the face, unfortunately.
Would have been a tough one for him to hang on to. I mean, the defensive back was on him at the moment he caught that, touched the ball, but not able to hold on and bring it down.
On the coverage.
3rd and 10. Once again, you know, it doesn't matter what level you're at. But when you get in 3rd and long, a good defense, good coaching is always going to make you pay for that. And this is something that we've seen pretty much all night long for PRP. They get themselves in these 3rd and long and just not able to convert. North Hardin's been pretty good at converting some of those 3rd and 4th downs.
Soja back to throw again, stepping up, trying to dump it off to his
pass
back.
is incomplete.
Aaron
We'll bring up
Kinnebrew,
4th and
but
10.
incomplete. Couldn't hang on to it, so he's hit 2 receivers
for Kinnebrew.
in the hands and nothing doing there. So poor Maurice Soja, he's working his butt off out there at quarterback.
Really is.
He's made a couple of really good throws. He had the mistake of the fumble late in the first half, but he's made some plays, he's made some throws, and just can't get anybody to hang on to the football for him.
Sometimes that disadvantage of being a tall quarterback, when you're trying to throw to some shorter receivers, when you get that nose of that ball down, really hard to keep your trajectory of that ball up high enough, and that's what you. And we had a fumble and punt, and he kicks it
backwards almost.
Pretty much.
Yes, it has gone backwards.
It's gone backwards, and it's.
Oh, the Trojans touch it. And he's jumped
He's able to get it back, I think. There's a bit of a scrum down there, but.
Number 12, Devontae Jordan Moffett.
Absolutely. Devontae should not. And
it's back to
PRP
the
gets it
Panthers.
back. What a mental mistake right there. He should never have gone for that ball.
Jeff, I don't know what's going on out here.
I do
we
not.
fumble a punt. The Panthers do. He literally kicked it backwards. He kicked it straight up in the air. As
Absolutely.
he was trying to avoid the rush, the ball hits and bounces backwards. He actually kicked the ball backwards about 10 to 12 yards.
He absolutely did. And then when it hit, it took that bounce towards the goal line, so it advanced it even more.
Well,
and
and I understand what number 12 is thinking there.
picking up and running in.
Well, yeah, he's behind. He was the only one with a chance at the football. No one between him and the goal line. He's thinking 6 points. And
but it's a rolling
unfortunately,
football. And the
it is.
hardest thing in the world to pick up is a rolling football.
And Devontae, he saw the goal line, but he just could not get a hold of the football, and it ended up going back to the Panthers.
Not that it's going to make that much of a difference, but now you've given them a little bit of a chance. Come back, and you keep your defense on for a second consecutive series, which means they're tired. And so we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm seeing some subs in here. I don't see Jerome McKinney. I'm seeing some guys getting some opportunities now. Probably some of the second group getting on the field. We've got a blitz coming down the field.
Long
Deep
pass.
ball,
He's got his
13,
man
Tramel
open.
Lee, catch. He's
He's
making
running.
a move.
He's running. He's out to about the 40-yard line, and he's out at the about the 29.
And so, Jeff, as we've talked about, Maurice Soja making another really good pass right on the money.
It was an
This time,
absolute heave.
It was. Tramel Lee makes the catch.
Beautiful. It was about a 50-yard pass.
At the end of 3.
Well, we are at the end of the third
41.
quarter. 41
PRP,
Trojans, 0 for the PRP Panthers. And again, we've got a running clock, and this thing is going to go by a lot more quickly here. But we've got what we can see for the Trojans are some of their second guys in the secondary.
Right.
Not their first group. I did not see Ian Patry out there. I did not see Jerome McKinney. So what we've got is some of the backups, guys getting an opportunity to play, and whenever you get a chance to play, you got to perform.
Absolutely. It's good to see that, though. Glad that coach is taking this opportunity. So probably also a good opportunity to mention those people that are sponsoring the game.
Again, yes, thanks to our sponsors. This is an HCEC-TV student production, division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Again, tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom, Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. We'll pick up here in the fourth quarter again. Trojans 41, Panthers 0. Panthers are taking over 1st and 10 on the Trojan 32-yard line, and we'll see what they've got. We'll see if the if the Trojans second group here. Well, I don't see any of the first line group out there right now. Let's see if they can play some ball. Let's see if they're up to
opportunity for them to see what
Friday
they
night
can do.
varsity task.
Absolutely. You know, they don't get many opportunities to be out under the lights, and it's a special thing. So good opportunity for him to do it. Soldier trying to break through, and he goes down. Looks like he fumbles the ball, but I believe he was going to be marked down before he lost it.
Got to tell you, number 10, Gary Love, was on a blitz right there, and he just lit up Aaron Kinnebrew, the back, who was trying to protect Maurice Soja. I mean, he lit him up, and Soja had to take off, and he was brought down for no gain. 2nd and 10, PRP, 11:28 to go in the game.
Love seeing Oxidine on the sideline, even though he's out of his pads, just encouraging his team. He was out there when before they went in, and just encouraging him. And love to see that when you know that. And he was breaking it out to the side. Kennebrew makes a nice play.
So this pass is complete to Kennebrew.
Jeff, that was a screen pass,
Tackled
and
by
that
Johnson.
aggressive rush that they had before worked
First
against
and
them
10
that time.
for the
Paid for
They
it
were-
this time.
They did pay for it. Big pickup, good call by Coach Williams.
Another thing, when you have some of your second team out there, they're excited, trying to push hard, and that's the kind of mistakes they can make sometimes. But
That was safety Josh Jim, number 28, on the tackle. They're saving a touchdown, so big play there. Trojans can line up again. Under pressure
Soldier,
again.
and nothing doing
Sack.
Soldier.
Brought down. Soldier continuing to try to look for something
Sacked
there,
on the
but
play
you
by
got to give it to the
Isaiah Beasley.
North Hardin backs for keeping him covered. Nothing available for him.
Yeah, number 46, Isaiah Beasley on the sack, along with several of his teammates. Again, they've got a couple of their first-team guys back on the field. I think I'm seeing Bessie Lilo out there, number 43. So they've got a couple of their front line, number 23 and Patry at corner. A few guys back on the field tonight, trying to get a stop down here at the goal line.
I think they'd like to keep that running clock running, so they want to stop a score. We may, let's see,
Flag on the play.
there. I believe we're going to have some defensive interference on that one.
Is that number 4 in coverage?
Yeah, it appears to be. He was definitely all over him.
Pass interference on the Trojans.
He was
For
double
Marcus
covered
Wilburn.
on that anyways, but
He was. Wilburn is, I believe, one of their first line guys as well that they've put back on the field, cornerback Marcus Wilburn. So we'll get the call here and see what the situation. That was a 2nd down and 10 play from the 15-yard line, and they are marking this off against the Trojans.
that does bring up a point. If they score, does that
Brings up
do we
second
go
and
back to a
4.
regular clock,
It does
or
not.
it runs to the end?
It will
PRP.
continue to run.
Okay.
I believe we've got about a 3rd and 4, or is that a 2nd and 4? It's a 2nd and 4.
It is 2nd and 4.
Inside handoff. Aaron Kennebrew makes a nice side step.
And
The Panthers are calling touchdown, but not the officials yet.
Kennebrew
Yeah,
stopped
the
at
ones
the
who
1.
matter are not. It's close though. He's got to be down to about the 1 or 2 yard line on this.
I think it's the 1 yard line, and that brings up
First and goal
first
from the
and
1.
goal from the 1 yard line. Number 70, Nate Johnson for the PRP Panthers there up front. The offensive tackle was one of the ones blocking, and he was calling for a touchdown.
Well, with
Soldier
Kennebrew up the
turns.
middle,
Kennebrew.
that was exactly what I would thought, and it is a touchdown. Mr. Kennebrew in for TD. It's what I would have called.
Well,
Kennebrew
with
goes up for the
8:31 and the
touchdown.
clock running, we'll see what the Panthers do, if they'll kick or if they'll go for a 2-point conversion here. They're organizing themselves. Soja is standing
Looks like
back.
they're going for 2.
PRP
Although they did
will
take
go
out
for
number
2.
72, one of their big offensive linemen.
All right, point after try, 2-point conversion. Again, 4 wide receivers. Soja fake to Kennebrew.
Too far. Overthrew everyone. Never had a chance.
He was looking for Kashawn Beasley on the slant, and it was good 5-10 yards over his head.
Well, makes it a 41-6 game. Be interesting to see now what North Hardin does. I'm looking again for them to go back to the running game, but maybe there will be that we see some of the second team for the Trojans come in on offense in this one. Be a great opportunity for them to get. It's a tremendous opportunity with 7.5 minutes left. They did stop the clock, by the way. I guess they do stop it for the kickoffs.
Change of possession.
Change of
We'll
possession.
Stop the clock. Yes. Again, I can see the coaches over here on the sideline hurriedly looking for who am I going to get in the ball game, and the guys who haven't played, they're all getting their hats on and walking up to the line, waiting to hear if coach will call their number. We've got 7:49 to go in the game, 4th quarter here from North Hardin. 41 for the Trojans, 6 now for the PRP Panthers, and I might expect to see number 16, Logan Coleman, the backup quarterback for North Hardin. We'll see if Logan gets an opportunity here, if we're going to stick with Eric Moore tonight.
Great opportunity for him to get some good minutes in. And you got 7 minutes left, 7.5 minutes left. So One with the squib kick.
Oh, my goodness.
Offsides.
Got
PRP.
offsides on PRP on the kickoff. I'll tell you, the kicker hit one of the linemen up front there dead in the chest, and it bounced off. I think PRP was going to get that kick.
They absolutely would have gotten that, but they stopped. Apparently they heard the whistle because PRP just dead stopped their run.
He told us to stop. He told us to stop.
All right, they'll line it up again from the 35 to kick it off. And another onside kick attempt. It's deeper into the number 52 is going to catch and cover.
Take it down at about the 43-yard line. So let's see what we got going on
Miller
here.
on the recovery, 1st and 10.
I do hope we get it.
Trojans.
Yeah, you were right. Called that number 16 coming out to
Your
command
new
the troops
quarterback,
for the
number
North Hardin
16,
Trojans.
Logan Coleman.
It's the first
Logan
time we've
Coleman.
seen him this year.
Logan is a sophomore, I believe, and I'm expecting, we don't know what else is in the system, but you know, Eric Moore is a senior, and so this may be our
Maybe their
if you're a
future.
Trojan fan, this may be looking at your
On the
future
play.
right here. So keep your eyes peeled in a game that's 41-6 and has long been decided.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against PRP.
You get a look at maybe the future of the Trojan football team.
Absolutely. It's always
Logan
good to
Coleman.
see that.
I believe some sort of unsportsmanlike call on the Panthers. There's been some extracurricular activities.
That's a shame.
So it'll march back, and while they march it off, the clock is
Christian
running
Academy of
again.
Louisville, 34,
Since it is
Elizabeth
possession,
Town, 10.
since the Trojans have the football, possession has begun and the clock is running.
Lose a whole
Again.
minute from the kickoff there because of the penalty.
That's right. We're 2 backs, 3 wide. Coleman to take the snap. Turns, gives to Elijah Banks, who cuts it off the right side. Big
All
run.
kinds of room around the outside.
Along
First
the
down,
backs, on the
Trojans.
carry.
Beautiful.
Well, good run, up 41-6. Unfortunately for Logan, he's probably not going to get a chance to show us his
Gain of
arm
10
much here.
for a
Yeah,
first
he'll
down.
highly doubt they're
Handy.
Trojans.
But
Highly
this
doubt.
is fun.
Highly doubt they'll do anything that would be a risk at all. Not that they're at risk, but continue to
First
have
and 10.
a full backfield.
Coleman with the snap. Again, he's going to turn and give to Banks. Banks off the right side again. 3 or 4 yards and what looked like
on
not
the carry.
much.
But he is turned to nothing into something pretty much, every play this tonight. And when he's gotten the ball, he just
Gain
keeps,
of 2.
keeps
Second
those
8
legs
for the
moving,
Trojans.
turns, twists. Good back.
Looked
Definitely
good against
back.
John Hardin as well in the same kind
Yeah,
of
he did.
fashion. Just hard running and finding yards.
You got to love that.
It'll be 2nd and 8 from the Panther 30-yard line. Coleman calling the signals. To give on an inside handoff. He was about to pull it.
He was not going to let it
That's
go.
number 5, Kashawn Davis with the football.
Yeah.
Trying to find space around the
Kashawn
outside. I
Davis
don't think he
on
got
the
anything.
carry.
Yeah, I believe that was supposed to be a fake hand. He did not want to let him have that ball.
Jeff, I don't know if he was reading something and was going to
Yeah,
pull it or
pull
if-
it back and
if,
keep it. That's what it looked like to me as well. He just, for about 3 steps, they both were hanging on to the ball.
It's either a great job at the mesh point or a really, really bad job.
Something
Somebody's
like
not doing the job right.
You got to pass the baton when it's time.
2 backs, 3 wide receivers. Coleman calling the signals. 3rd and 10. Again, turn and give to Banks,
Right
and
up the
there are
middle.
2 linebackers blitzing through, knowing
Banks
it's run.
on the carry.
Maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Well, it's 4th down. Maybe we will get to see his arm at this point in time.
Well, with running clock, 4:11 and counting in the 4th
Gain of
quarter,
1,
41-6.
4th and 9.
4th and 9. We'll see what they do. I'm
Might be
going
a
to
good
expect a
opportunity.
run, but we'll
Yeah,
see what
you're
happens.
probably right, but
I'd love to see the young man get a chance
yeah,
to throw the
I'd
football.
like to
Maybe
see
a
him
hitch
throw it
route,
as well.
something.
Only one back.
There we
Yeah,
go.
he
He's
goes.
going to
He
throw
is
the
gonna throw
football.
it. Throws it deep, and it's an
Overthrown and
interception.
picked.
Definitely not what you wanted to see.
And a big run back
We
up the
do have a
sideline.
flag in the
Going
background.
fast,
We're
it's
way
intercepted.
back about where
Flag
the
on the
ball
play.
was intercepted, but we have a flag.
Well, Jeff, here's a couple of things for the young quarterback to learn about that particular pass. Number one, it got away from him. He threw it high. Anytime you throw the ball high down the middle,
Right.
there's usually a safety that's going to pick that thing off. He was looking to throw a seam route. Looked like kind of a skinny post from his outside wide receiver. I was looking for I feel a little unfortunate there because I feel like with a young quarterback, a hitch route, something really simple would have
build
been nice.
some confidence.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was a little bit longer. Now,
was
when
a
I
risky
said I
pass.
thought maybe my pass, that was not what I was expecting. I totally agree with you. That's definitely one of those ones where you want to throw something that's a confidence builder. Even if you don't get the first down, what's more important was the completion.
Right, a screen, maybe a flat route, just a quick out to a back out of the backfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
A hitch route to a wide out. Something to give the kid an opportunity just to make a throw and catch and feel good about what's happening here with 2 minutes to go in the game. But now, Maurice Soja with a throw up the left side.
Yeah, they're already down to about the 19-yard line.
It's Anthony Delgado with about his third or fourth reception. So Tremel Lee and Anthony Delgado making some catches for Maurice Soja, but obviously a little too late. But
yeah,
moving to football again.
You take that interception return plus the penalty, they're starting on their Trojans' 30-yard line. So looks like an opportunity for them to take another score in if they
Soja
capitalize
looking for
on
Delgado
that.
again. And
Oh,
there's contact.
we have
and
got a flag on that one. He absolutely knocked him down. You cannot impede the receiver's route, and pretty much took him out.
Jeff, that looked like a young man out there with a little lack of experience.
Could be, possibly.
Obviously, he was in position, but got himself a little bit tangled up with the receiver more than he should have.
You can't do that. Cannot do that.
Well, you love seeing a kid in position, but you got to be able to be in position to make the play and not. He was completely squared up to the receiver, and the receiver ran dead into his chest.
Yeah.
And they both went to the ground. That's going to be called every time. So we got 2nd and 1 now from about the 10-yard line. Soja taking the snap, looking to his right. Kashawn Beasley open, didn't find him.
He's hold on the ball, scrambles.
Scramble to about the 4. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah.
Soja picks up a first down.
With 1:10 left.
With the running clock, they're going to have to get themselves on the line and ready to go. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Again, 41-6 is our score here at Trojan Stadium.
We're under a minute.
Hand.
And
Kennebrew.
He
pushing.
Takes it in for the touchdown. Touchdown,
Kennebrew
PRP.
for the touchdown.
It's amazing how much faster the game moves when you have a run clock.
You know, when the third quarter ended a little while back there, I didn't realize the third quarter ended. The clock had
so
started
fast,
running,
right.
and it went so quickly it snuck up on me there. Now with the change of possession, obviously the clock will stop. It's a 2-point conversion now coming for the Panthers. Soja inside handoff to Kennebrew, and in he goes.
He takes it. So they take it up to 14 points. So 41-14. Obviously, even that score is not representative of the lopsidedness of this game. But for PRP's sake, you got to be happy for them that they got it in a couple of times. It's interesting. We got some controversy going on here because the referees are telling them to stop the clock on change of possessions, but the coaches are thinking that the clock should just continue to run. But that is the way it should go, that when there's a change of possession, you absolutely have to give them an opportunity to stop the clock and change that. So it's only 30 seconds left.
All right, 30.3 to go. The Panthers will be kicking off to the Trojans. And again, as Jeff mentioned, Trojans 41, Panthers 14. We're getting close to wrapping this thing up. We'll have a kickoff here. Don't know if we'll even have to have the Trojans even take a knee for one play. We'll see if they keep the clock moving after the kick. This could be the last play
of the game. I'm fairly certain
we'll see.
Yeah,
All right.
that will not.
Guys up front are ready for the kick, and it is an onside kick. High bounce. It looks like the Panthers are going to jump on it. It's still loose. And they're going to repay the favor. The Trojans and the Panthers come up with it, but the clock
But it
is
doesn't
still
matter.
running.
Clark's running, so this one's over.
And that is the ball game.
This one's history,
Your
folks.
final score, For the evening, Trojans 41.
So here we are at Trojan
14.
Field.
3.
Trojans are going to win the game 41. PRP Panthers 14. Great effort by the Trojans. Jeff, let's wrap it up. Tell me what you saw tonight, what you thought about the performance.
You know, internally in my heart, I saw what I thought I was going to see, which was a lot of more to more, and but you know that really didn't begin to happen until we saw some of those breakdowns with the special team turnovers by PRP. But once that happened, and you began to see Eric Moore in the background take over, he controlled that offense. He saw a defense that was done, and he just continued to run that ball. That hurry-up offense killed him, put him down, and then you got that deadly combination of Eric Moore to his little brother Josh Moore, and man, that was something that they could not come back. So you got to give it to that, and you saw a little bit of that running game, but that's about the takeaway I have to see here, that you saw the strength of the North Hardin Trojans take over tonight.
Well, I like that last comment because it was their strength. That offensive line, we wondered what the matchup up front would look like, and certainly, as we had predicted, the Trojans' offensive and defensive lines are probably some of the best we've seen here in Radcliffe
really
for
are.
quite a while.
They are. They're a dangerous team. Anybody that's coming in, you cannot underestimate that, because they're an impressive team looking this year. Absolutely.
Well, 41-14, Jeff. We've got our sponsors to thank, and very appreciative.
Absolutely. Remind you, this is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production, HCEC-TV. It's a division of Hardin County Schools, and it's a live Channel 1 programming, and it's sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy and Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, for all of your real estate needs. Contact Ryan at 270-723-4626. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable, unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. And West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point Bank, or find us online at westpointbank.com.
Well, I want to also offer a special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew, the young people of Hardin County Schools, our students that we're supporting here, those sponsors are supporting, Evan McClure, Maxwell Whitaker, Lauren Wilson. Great job tonight. Also our staff, Patrick Tall, Reed Sampley, you guys, we appreciate you.
Good job.
Great work tonight, especially dealing with adversity, fixing the problems we were dealing with, and that's a great experience for our young people, having a chance to work through some of those things. So, for Paul Gray here and Jeff Knoll, North Hardin Trojans 41, PRP Panthers 14. We'll see you again next week for some great high school football action. Good night, everybody.